Hello, YouTubers. This is Demon0981, and with my first video all by myself. And as you can tell by the caption above my head, and this is going to be a list on the top 12 creepypasta figures. So let's get out the show. Oh, with number 12. At number 12 is the creepypasta figure Sonic.exe. We know Sonic is the heroic hedgehog we grew up with in video games. But one has to wonder, what if he suddenly turned evil and started killing everyone in the game? Everyone from Tails to Knuckles to even Dr. Eggman. This is a very strange concept. I'm surprised it's this small on the list. But as we'll see later on, there are entries that are more disturbing than a demented Sonic. At number 11, Smile Dog Got Jpg. Now, the creepypasta account goes like this. A woman gets a email alert with a photograph of a Siberian Husky smiling. And she is warned that if she doesn't send this picture to other users for a certain amount of time, it ends. The email will come to life and kill her. Now, I have done research on this one, and for a little bit, and I'd say it's kind of weird. It starts out as a normal photograph of a Siberian Husky until it is sent. Each time the image is sent, the dog's smile becomes more, what's the best word for it? Demented, psychotic, yeah, sardonic. I've always wanted to use that word. And the final photograph depicts the dog with a skinless head, still with that grin. And in the background, a bloody handprint on the door. Number 10. Missing number / ghost. In Lavender Town of the Pokemon games, there is a tower where you can actually catch a ghost Pokemon, Ghastly, if you want to follow the anime a bit. However, if you don't have the Silph Scope from Silph Company in Saffron City, the ghost Pokemon are unavailable or be captured, as they come out as these black, silhouette like ghosts. You can't catch them, you can't even fight them, so the option you have is to run. And there's actually a creepypasta based around these little buggers. One trainer actually managed to catch one, and as a result was the worst mistake he ever made. As the game progressed, the trainer would appear to get older and older, and the only attack Ghost knew was Curse. Now, when this creepypasta came out, it was before Generation 2 started. So, it was based off of the Pokemon game Blue, Red, Yellow, Leaf Green, and Fire Red, I think. The ghost of Lavender Town is actually the spirit of a Mother Marowak that was murdered by agents of Team Rocket long ago. And because of this rumor, its pre-evolution Cubone is now forever condemned, I guess would be the more appropriate term, to wear the skull of its mother as a helmet, never revealing its face. It brought up a lot of theories on what it looks like without the helmet. One person said it looks like a baby Kangaskhan, when in actuality it looks nothing like the baby if you've seen the photo. No, not photo. Picture. Sorry. On to number 9. Number 9 is Happy Happy. Now, I've heard of this one from Pat's top video that was on YouTube. It was about the number, it was between 20 and 9, let's just say that. There's a canceled kids show about a claymation apple, I'll call him Happy Happy. They're traveling around in a van and look for kids whom which he can help. Now, with that concept, it's a little disturbing in by itself, as the title character is made by claymation and supported by sticks. For a Tim Burton film, that would be pretty good. For a kids show, no. Unfortunately, though, it was canceled due to unknown reasons. One speculation is because of an episode that was supposed to center around the 9/11 incident when the Twin Towers fell. Very hard to voice a good opinion about this one, since it's fairly well known. Unlike the other entries on this list, there is going to be a lot of explaining to do for me. So let's head on to number 8. At number 8 is SCP-173, also known as the Sculpture. In the game SCP Containment Breach, you see something standing in a corner facing the wall. All as 2 guards walk up towards it. As soon as the game starts, this thing comes alive and starts killing everyone. Now you're stuck with this thing, and as you try to escape at the SCP Foundation. And if you ever encounter it, the only way you can survive if the encounter is this. According to the SCP Wiki, sorry, you don't want to stay alive around this thing, and just keep constant eye contact on it. Unfortunately, though, the game has a glitch where you can actually blink, which is bad, because if you do, this thing and twists your neck and kills you immediately. Yeah, I want the other SCP creatures running around silent and so sudden. On to number 7. Number 7 is Mr. Widemouth. I recently heard of this creepypasta, and yet I know a lot about him, even though I've only heard about it once. Mr. Widemouth is described as resembling either a demented Furby or the Mogwai version of Mohawk from Gremlins 2, the new batch. By the way, watch that video, it's got a lot of good qualities to it. As the story continues, the title character tries to lure a kid into jumping out of a 2-story window, with the slight promise that there is a trampoline at the bottom. Really? And, of course, the kid doesn't believe them. Then Widemouth gets a little pissed off, and he disappears. At the end of the story, however, the kid goes by a cemetery, and he notices a lot Oh, gravestones for kids. And basically we know how they died, I guess. Number 6. Dead Bart. Yeah, I wasn't going to put this one on the list, but I thought after a minute, well, maybe I should put something a lot of people can understand. Let's get one thing quite clear. I love The Simpsons, especially the Treehouse of Horror specials. They always make me smile. You know, especially that one where Homer goes a little psycho like in The Shining. Well, I learned there was actually a last episode where Bart died. Not by Sideshow Bob, but due to one of his little antics. At the end, and they bury him in a cemetery. But if you look closely at the tombstones, you can see in the names and dates of certain celebrities. And the creepy part is they're accurate during that time. A lot of people will say that one of the gravestones was the accurate death, had the accurate death date for Michael Jackson. Think about it. Number 5, the rake. Now we're getting to more dark territory. The rake is described as a ghastly humanoid creature with large white eyes, as a snarling mouth, and long rake-like claws. No one knows where this thing originated from or why it's here, but one thing's for sure, the rake is absolutely terrifying thing to look at. And quite frankly, it doesn't scare me a bit. And I've seen speculation videos on Paranormal Witness on Sci-Fi, and they kind of look a little fake or doctored. However, let's continue on. And the next one we all saw coming. Number 4. Tinkamina Diane Pie from My Little Pony Friendship is Magic fanfics. Now let me put this out on the table. I, for one, am not a Brony fan. Sorry if you are and might be offended by what I'm going to say about this character, but I have heard the fanfiction readings. I have seen the stuff on Creepypasta Wiki about the series, and I am appalled about you bronies. If you were taking fandom way above the potential, Lauren Faust, I am deeply sorry for what these people have done to your work. But I digress. It's on to the number 4 spot. We all saw this one coming, and we all know about the fanfictions surrounding about this particular pony. Let me start by saying why she's on this list. Just one word. Cupcakes. Yeah, that one. The one that basically drove the fanfic critics insane. It starts out pretty fun and light. Pinkie Pie invite as Rainbow Dash goes to Pinkie Pie is to help her bake cupcakes. Okay, so one up seems like an episode of one might get to watch. If they had the right channel or whatever. But it goes from good to bad really quick. Picking the fanfic as Pinkie as a cupcake and puts Dash to sleep. She finds herself chained up to an operating table And Pinkie Pie parades out in a dress made up of the cutie marks and wings of other her ponies. Even with the image in my head, I cannot come up with anything more horrific. And that's not it. She's also wearing a necklace made out of unicorn horns that she's taken off herself. Something other, doesn't it? She reveals to Nat that she needs a special ingredient. And unfortunately, it happens to be from certain individuals. And basically, as we all know what happened, she kills Rainbow Dash. Dissection, and then all that mess. Wow. Sergeant Sprinkles were once a district bastard. And the worst part is, there are actually 2 fanfics that reference this one about Pinkie. Rockin' to Insanity, which is kind of a pseudo sequel, as it's Rainbow Dash trying to avoid Pinkie Pie after she has a nightmare about that cupcakes incident. And of course, Cupcakes Part 2. There's actually a sequel made. The first one, except the first one wasn't bad enough. Anyway, I better move on before I get off on a tangent again. Number 3, Jeff the Killer. I personally do not think this being is all that scary. Yes, I know, he's considered to be one of the most infamous faces of the creepypasta generation or genre. But the reason he's this far up on the list is because I actually know 2 other beings that have that carved up smile. There's Heath Ledger's Joker from the new Batman films. Don't believe me? Look at the way he cut his mouth. And, surprisingly enough, the slit mouth woman from the Japanese urban legends. Now, if you don't know what this one is, other websites have references to this one. And the first time I did see an image of Jeff the Killer, will it may have creeped me out a bit. But now, I like to use them on my little sisters, as if they don't go to sleep. In fact, I was watching one video that had him as an entry in one point, and when my sister saw it, she freaked out. And just to mess with her, I kept on smiling like this, as while looming over her. It's like, no, get away from me! And for number 2 and for number 1 may not be that big of a surprise. So, let's get on to number 2. Number 2, Slender Man, the most infamous creepypasta figure in history. Started out as a meme, became a celebrity, in his own right. We all know about Slendy due to the Slender games. I don't know if I actually tried, and they're pretty good. And we all know what he looks like. Seriously, ask anybody who Slender Man is, they'll tell you. Oh, the Slender Man, let me see here. Tall, thin, wears a black suit and tie, has no face but a white head, and has tentacles coming out of his body, right? Yeah, pretty much. And the weird part is, I know a lot about this guy. And if he's ever nearby. Now, the reason why he's at number 2 instead of at number 1 is because he actually makes a few appearances in media other than his franchise, his in the games. He's actually seen in 2 movies, no, not movies, shows, and 1 movie. He's spoiler alert, he can be seen in Gravity Falls, hiding in the mist. Seriously, type in the word Slenderman, Gravity Falls. Goes on Google search or Bing search. He's there. So's Jeff. And surprisingly enough, he is also on Adventure Time. And before you send me comments like, no, he wasn't, as if, where, I didn't see him. Trust me, if you want further proof, allow me to bring you this little detail. In the episode, oh, Daddy's a little monster, Finn puts on the amulet that Marceline's father once had around his neck, and it becomes this giant suit-wearing demon. And because of Finn's hat, it has a white face, no eyes except for these 2 bumps of the sort of the ears of the hat, and Finn's mouth, as well as long tentacle-like arms. And this is just from Finn wearing the necklace once. Marceline wears it, she becomes kind of like her dad. Hudson Abadir wears it, well, we basically know what he looks like with it. That's his powers. I only see Jake wear that thing. But, thanks to Slender Man, I think it's safe to say my sisters will not leave me alone about him. Before we get on to number 1, let's recap, shall we? Number 12, Evil Sonic. Number 11, Sardonic Smiling Dog. Number 10, and Cuba owns deceased mother and a Pokemon curse. Number 9, Happy Happy. Number 8, always keep your watch on him. Number 7, then Mr. Widemouth. Number 6, Number 5, The Rake. Number 4, Cakes. Number 3, Jeff the Killer. Number 2, Slender Man. And for my number 1 and Creepypasta Figure surprise is Freaky Fred. Now, this list was hard to make, and each entry so far has been disturbing or creepy even though they do not exist in their own universe. However, this one does exist because actually it is from an actual TV show, episode, Perks of Harley Dog, Freaky Fred. This guy screams creepy and disturbing into me, far more than Cupcakes, Eggs Pinkie Pie, or even Slender Man in general. Oh, Mr. Creepypasta, on YouTube as well, has his poem down for Creepypasta reading. And guess what? That poem's real. It's in the episode. Let's get further deep into Fred and Psyche, shall we? He has this sardonic smile on his face like Jeff Killer, except this one's not carved. Sure. And by the way, I know what the word sardonic means. It means permanently be scarred. Like, no. Having the permanent smile. That's like the Joker. And he has an obsession for shaving people and even animals. Case in point, his pet hamster, 1 point, and courage. Also. And the whole time the poem's going on, it's in his head. The funniest thing I can think of now about him is the fact that he's based off of Sweeney Todd. So there you have it. My top 12 creepypasta figures. Boy, this has been a weird one. Well, hopefully next time, and I'll have a video about something more appropriate. And guess what? Halloween's almost around the corner. And I have a certain and bunch of characters I want out in the open. So, without further ado, this is Demon0981 signing off.